Hello, my friends. Welcome back. So today we're doing sort of a paint slash Inktense thingy color along. I really have no idea what to call it, but I figured it would be a lot of fun. Um, I have my illustration. This is the original that I did, and it is on some just light watercolor paper. It's not real heavy or anything like that. You could definitely use print yours out on cardstock if you wanted to, or something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be super heavy for use with during Inktense. If you want to do it with watercolor or watercolor pencils, that would be great too. Inktense is just what I have, so that's what I'll be using. I have the 12 set. Isn't it cute? And I want to do just, I don't know, sort of something fun with this, but feels like really organic, almost like that, I don't know, that kind of Japanese wash feeling of the paintings that they do, but with gems, because, gems. So, I have leaf green, which I'm going to put along the edges of a whole bunch in some of the middle. I'm going along this edge because I want to have it here and then kind of wash it this way, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do that with a couple of these leaves. And I figured it would just be really fun to get you guys to do this with me. And then I will make sure to post about it, and that way you guys can go in and add yours as you do them if you want, and show off that I did it too. This is not the same color that it will turn out to be. It's quite a bit brighter than this, which is one of the things I like so much about Inktense. Is like, it looks really, really dull, and then you put water on it, and all of a sudden it like a whole new world, type of thing. So, and yes, you need arm movements when you're singing, otherwise it doesn't work right, or at least that's what they tell you. I'm not sure who they is or why they're telling you anything, but that's what they tell you. I'm gonna put an extra bit here, because why not? Let's see, I'll go up on this one. And then switch it to this side, because we can. And then I'm thinking it would be cool to pop some yellow maybe into the leaves. As well as into our vines here. I'm going to use the leaf green on the vines, but I'm also going to put some bark in there. Ooh, I missed a whole leaf. Look at that. And then the bark color is actually, let's see if I can find it. It's like a dark earthy brown. I don't have my swatches because I have no clue where they are. And I guess that makes me a horrible person, but I'm sorry. I wish I had it, for sure. But I'll have to make a new one. I've reorganized my desk so many times that things get lost. Also, I'm really, really excited. I've got the final phases ready for the January birthstone, and that way I can get it finished and sent off so that all my birthstone people can, and mystery box people can get their prints and get the mystery box sent off for the January one. Just like there's so much stuff going on. Okay, so yellow. See how dull my tips are too? Like you don't have to sharpen these a whole bunch. But I want to put like bits of yellow in here. Like not a lot because this yellow is so bright. It's ridiculous. This one is sun yellow. And it really is. It's just like so incredibly bright. Yeah, that looks pretty cool so far. And by so far, I mean it looks like somebody ran a crayon over it. But that's okay. As for the, let's go ahead and wash this down and then go from there. So I've got my little paintbrush. I ordered some water brushes and then they came in and they were horrible because I didn't get them from like a reputable site because I'm weird like that. I was trying them because my friend told me they were great and then they got here and I was like, no. So I want the Derwent watercolor brushes. I've heard that those are great. So I'm going to go on here and start my water. And as you can see, it's incredible, the transformation that these things do. Got my little paper towel here to make sure I don't put so much water that I can't control it. It's so much fun to see these just in action. I found that the watercolor pencils that my friend loaned me, they work a little bit like this. The only difference is, of course, those are actual watercolor and these are ink. So if you have watercolor pencils, you could do this. You could actually just do it in watercolor too, if you have watercolors. Just whatever you have works. Heck, do it in acrylic paint if that's what you have. Do it in color pencil. I'm wondering if I should go along the lines of these as well to bring some of this color down here. Maybe. We'll see. But see how cool that looks? It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to express that, what I think it looks like. I think in pictures. I don't think in words. So. But I love the watercolor look that it gets. And that's really what I'm going for here. It's hard to get the same effect, you know, with just colored pencils. Although I know it is attainable. I'm sure it is. I just have to figure out how. Just kind of moving the pigment all over here. See how when it hits that yellow, it gets like so much brighter? I like that. So I got this little, this is from, I've been doing these sketches on a little tiny watercolor pad. I think I got it from like Hobby Lobby for like $3 or something like that. So it's not like good quality watercolor paper or anything like that. But it is a lot of fun to put little sketches on and then do this. So and it's like a perfect size, like for smaller stuff. I really like this. I really like it. See how it just spreads out? It's like so much pigment packed inside this. I don't know what your favorite watercolor or water-based coloring thing is, but you should tell me. I would want to know. Like, do you have a favorite product? Do you have a favorite brand of watercolor or watercolor pencils? Or is Inktense your favorite? You should comment and let me know. I'm always looking for new stuff to get, you know, because I'm crazy. And I love to try new stuff, so. Oh my gosh. I really like this so far. What do you guys think? Well, we can always come back and add more to it. So, let's go back to our pencils. And I want to pick out some, let's see. We've got, what's like a good base for this? I think I want to do like the baked earth, which is kind of a brown, obviously. And it needs a little bit of sharpening because it's like horrible. Let's see, let's go down to like a 3. Most people find that Derwents are really, really big, but I find that they work with my Tagal just fine. Here it is on a 3. So, just in case you guys were wondering, I have the Tagal sharpener and the Derwents work just fine in there. So I just want a little bit of color on the base of these gems, around the base or whatever, because we're going to go back in and do some more with it. We may even like stop this and then go and finish it out with polychromos. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll put up this first part and then we can vote on it, I guess, or something. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know! I'm horrible at making decisions, y'all. I really am. I'm one of those super indecisive people. Yeah, I'm one of those. Like, if it's completely up to me and nobody else has a say in it, it's one thing. But if there's anybody else involved, I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I'm like a secret people pleaser or something. I'm weird. Anyway, I'm just scribbling on here. Just cause I like this as a base of stuff. A base for stuff, I guess. Let's put some water on that, see how that comes out. Yep, very nice indeed. Now I'm thinking about the gems. What about like teal gems? Like that kind of like a greenish, bluish color. You think that would be good on this? Like as far as a color palette? Maybe we should do something else. Oh, what if we did like teal gems and then added in like orange and yellow bits or something like that? Because you can do that with the Inktense because they're ink, like they don't bother the under layers, you know? Which is really awesome when it comes to this kind of stuff. Because with watercolor, a lot of times if you put on a second layer, it might mess with the bottom layer because you re-wet the watercolor and it will become fluid again. Or at least some of it might. Whereas with Inktense, it will not do that. The layers stay put. So that could be really, really cool. You could make some really interesting looking gems. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. See how I find these ideas and then I get all excited about it? This is me in real life, yo. Real life. Okay, so I want to use the bark of the dark brown color to kind of add shadow to these settings, but they do have to dry a little bit first before we do that. Maybe a little bit more than they are right now, but that's okay because we can work on the gems and our leaves, of course, if we want to work on our leaves. All right, so I've got, let's see, I've got sea blue and I've got teal. Now, where's that other watercolor piece that I did? If you guys remember this piece, so this is the teal, like color up in here, and this is the sea blue. And so if we layer a couple of them, we'll get kind of a wash and kind of a combination of them, which is what I think that I would want to do. The other part of that is if we just do the teal and we do those orange and yellow like little pops in there, then we need to do the teal first as a layer. So let's do that. And for a gem, like, I'm going to go just up here. Kind of, we work in the shadow of the gem type deal, and then we'll use the water to turn it into a blend, if that makes sense. Like, you know how you have the darker and then it goes to the lighter as you get to the reflected light. Well, this will be the reflected light, and we use the water to make it blend all together so that it has that gradient that you need for a gem. We also want it to be darker up at the top. So let's put in, I don't want it to be like really, really dark, just a little bit. I want to keep these gems kind of light. So this is deep indigo, which I used up here and up here. So So I want to do like a little bit of light in there, just so that we have it in there. I don't want to do a whole bunch because it really is dark. It's pretty intense. And then if we want, we can put some of the blue in there, the sea blue. Let's do one and see how we like it. And then if we want to change the others, we can. But there's that, okay? So I want to start here and then bring this into our white that doesn't have anything, so that it has that nice gradient. And then we work up from there. Yeah, I don't want to like ruin my reflected light, so. There, that's pretty. Do we want to change that or do we want to leave it? I think we'll leave it. What do you think? Yeah, let's leave it. Okay, so do the same over here. As we get this part first, and then we bring that bit of color, that wash color down here. We get a little bit more water so we can continue blending and work our way up. So you get that nice dark border on it. Bring this down a little bit. Just like that. And do it again up here. Get that nice wash of color. Get some more water because we don't want to run out. And work our way up here. Kind of going in and scrubbing it just so we get it nicely mixed. Not really scrubbing it. That's not the right way to describe that. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like trying to grab the color and move it around in a sense. Which is really what I am doing, so. There we go. Our pretty little gems. And then while those dry, let's go back in and work on our leaves a little bit. I think. I've got a little bit of this. This is apple green, which is also really, really bright, as you can see just from the color here. I figured we could just put like little bits in here for the fun of it. And it won't bother our already dry other layer. So I just thought it would be fun. It just kind of adds a bit of, you know, more of a punch of color. because, you know, you want to punch people with color. What if you could do that in, like, real life, and you just had, like, I don't know, pigment in your pocket, and you could just, like, throw it at people, and it would smack them in the face, and all of a sudden they would be blue for the rest of the day. I don't know. I should try that, right? Walk around downtown Fort Worth, just, like, throw pigment at people. I would probably get in a lot of trouble. But hey, it's half the fun. I like that. It gives it a little more, you know, stuff. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to do was get that bark back out. And I want to sharpen it up a little bit because I want to make sure to keep it where I want it. So I had it sharpened up a little bit. And I want this as kind of the shadow around the gems. And then going down in some of the rings, I want it in there as well. So kind of following along the lines as the shadow of these being stacked on top of one another instead of just being rings going outwards. So it's less like ripples and more like different color, or the same color, like coasters like stacked on top of each other or something. That's kind of what I'm going for. And I'm still being like really light and just putting it on here. I'm not putting a lot, but I do want to make a shadow. It's okay if it doesn't, you know, go right where it has to go. Like, I'm okay with that. This is just what I do when I play around, and this is like half of why my job is so incredibly fun. It's exploring, and it's neat, and it's, I don't know, it's just, it's free. You know, it's therapy. Like, seriously. But it's also like why my job is so awesome. It's like I get to do what I love and practice it, and, you know, just work at it all the time. The only downside of my job is like the business aspect of it, where I actually have to like keep up with things. Sometimes it's a lot of fun. Other times it's like, I have to go update this and like check the stats on this, and I have to like do paperwork. But you know what? I think it's totally worth it. Probably the hardest part, or the most mundane part, is actually putting together the coloring books themselves. Because it's all just sitting at the computer, like digitizing files and cleaning them, and then just sitting at the computer and then putting them into a PDF, and like making sure that they align with all of the CreateSpace protocols, and then uploading it, and then fixing all the errors, and then re-uploading it, and like making sure the DPI is correct, and then filling out descriptions. Oh my god, I hate filling out descriptions, you guys. Like, you have no idea. No idea. But yeah, like, that's probably the worst part. And it takes up so much time. I don't mind, like, designing covers and stuff like that. Like, if I color it myself, is what I mean. and then just doing the design work of putting it together, like layout. I don't really mind that as much. It's still sort of creative, but again, it's sitting at the computer and doing it. I'm not a huge computer person. Like, I'm on the computer a lot because I'm, you know, in Gemho's and I'm on here and I'm recording stuff and whatnot. But, like, when it comes to actually, like, doing programs and files and stuff like that, I'm just not. I'm just not at all there. That doesn't interest me. My husband, however, is super techie, and he plays video games on the computer. He can do all kinds of really, really amazing, like, program work. Like, he can speak computer language. It's, like, the coolest thing ever. Like, he can type it in, and the computer will do what he tells it to do. But it's, like, a whole different language. Like, he's an actual programmer. It's pretty freaking cool. But that's, like, his hobby, which is really funny to me. It's, like, that's, like, a horrid torture, but it's like his hobby, and it brings him so much enjoyment to program things. And so I'm all for him doing that. And in real life, his role job is he's a health insurance agent. So he sells health insurance, and like he's with a brokerage or whatever. So like he gets to represent like a whole bunch of different agents, or no, a whole bunch of different companies, and then just helps people find the best deal for them, which he loves because he likes helping people kind of like I do. Okay, so now that you know all about my husband, and I'm sure you wanted to, now that our gems are kind of dry, we can go in and put little specks of color in them. I'm very excited about this. So, I'm thinking orange and maybe some like hot yellow spots. And I want to sharpen these for this because I want very specific spots and such. The other way to do this, oops, I pushed too hard and I broke it off. That's the other thing. You gotta be careful with these. These are soft. These are soft pencils.